And we're here. The boys are back. BAYOG in the house. Black Otaku Gamers podcast. I am your host, Blackatron. And with me today is my boy, Commander Cluck Cluck, Marky Mark.
What up?
And my other co-host, Rakutsu.
Hello.
What up, boys? No hot today, but I still got my boys here. Pretty exciting, except the tub issue. I don't know what that is.
It's definitely not a body in his tub. There's definitely no dead body in his tub. That's not an issue for Kenny right now.
Nope. That's an issue for future Kenny.
That's a good carryover.
So we're here to talk about anime again, as usual, and we're going to talk about fall anime 2019 season. We are looking at our 3-episode test and deciding what we're going to be dropping or keeping. Last time you were with us, you got our first impressions of most of these shows, and now you'll know if we still feel strongly about a lot of them. Are they still good or are they weak? You'll find out here. So I'm just going to be going through AniList or AniChart as we usually do. And I think we can talk easily about some shows that we know we're going to keep around, like My Hero and things like that, the carryovers, because we're not going to get rid of them. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think of My Hero so far? I know Nick's a manga reader, but Mark, how are you feeling about it as well?
I have
anime only.
I haven't watched the latest episode, but so far it looks like things are ramping up a lot.
Yep.
Especially after that first episode of actual content. I'm not counting the recap episode. Oh my god, dude. I'm excited for what's coming.
Yeah, what do you think about All Might's sidekick?
Dude, he's funny.
He's
I need to watch the next episode just to see how what happens from that cliffhanger at the end of that episode.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think I can see why is it Mirio?
Yeah.
The blonde guy? Yeah. I can see why he was why the sidekick taken a like to him, because he's such a almost pretty much the same thing as All Might, when you talk about his image as the symbol of peace. But you'll also get to know a little more about what All Might said earlier about how if it wasn't for Deku, that would have been the next one to hold All for One.
I can't wait. I haven't watched it yet. I'm caught up from last season. I have not started anything for this season, but I've seen so many clips and bits that I can't wait to see how they animate this. Because I know you and I talked that after this arc, because of how strong this arc goes, it's hard to follow up. So it's a bit of a lull, and that's kind of where I left off after the arc after this one, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm trying to be vague because I don't want to spoil anything. But this one, the only thing I will say about it is this is a great fucking arc. And they, from what I've seen from the clips and GIFs online, they've done a very good job of capturing that.
And we're only just starting.
Yeah, exactly.
So also, they're actually showing a character that comes in later, much sooner. Hawks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Number 3?
Yep.
Yeah, number 3.
So, Mark, Hawks is the number 3 hero.
Oh, okay.
And he's really cool. Very interesting character. And in the manga, a lot of interesting things happen. But the reason why I think they're bringing him up now is because he's in the movie that's coming out in Japan in December.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I think they're going to try to bring him in a little sooner so that you get more insight as to who he is. But the issue with the movie is, like I said, it's actually covering things after this season, I think. It seems to be referring to manga stuff. So
yeah, that's weird, because the whole draw of his character is the plot around him is so thick and tangled, and every time you think you've gotten your head wrapped around it, they pull a curtain back and nah, there's another 3 levels of insanity about this. You don't know what this guy's motivation or anything is. It's so wild. You watch and you read and read and read, and you're just I don't know anymore. What is up? What is Sky? What is life? Like it's such a, and I don't know how I feel about them trying to jam that in so quickly because in the manga they paced it so well where it's like for 3 chapters you're convinced you know everything about this guy and what he's doing, and then they drop something brand new and you're like, oh fuck. Especially the way he interacts with Endeavor. Like I think he also made Endeavor really good too. So I'm really hoping that they keep a lot of that synergy that they had.
There's some rumors that the Endeavor stuff that happens in the manga is actually going to be either teased or happen at the very end of the season.
That would be good. I think that.
Yeah, I don't know how, because that's a lot of content.
It is
for 25 episodes, but it seems that might happen. Yeah. So this is going to be a good season. Like I said last week, no, I think it was last week before. We had a situation where last season we had 2 of the biggest fights. We had Deku versus Muscular and All Might versus All for One. The thing is, you have those 2 big fights in that season. Just knowing that was so spectacular and big versus what's about to happen, it's like, all right, you have to like step it up so much for this to be like on the same scale. And it is. If anything, it's more.
Yeah, and again, that's why I said it's... I remember when I was reading this, you and I were talking, because the arc after this, like, it was nowhere near as fantastic, but that doesn't say anything about that arc being bad. It's just this arc is so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's... Again, it is only in the grand scheme of, like, comparing all of the arcs of My Hero Academia that I can say the next one is not as good. And that is just because this one is so fantastic. If you were to include that in most anime, that would be a defining moment because of how good that one is. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited to look at it. This is one of the few ones that I'm not keeping up with that I've wanted to. Like, I even made sure I finished up last season beforehand, and I just haven't gone through. And I think someone told me that either I think it was the first episode's a recap, and I just kind of didn't watch it, and I just left it to die on my queue.
So Mark, how are you feeling about Sword Art right now?
Sell me on this, Mark. Sell me.
It's weird as fuck.
All right. Weird flex, but okay.
Because now the Americans are involved, and probably some Russian hackers.
Wait, what?
What happened?
How the fuck did Sword Art Online get political?
It's not exactly political. It's just well, I mean, like I told you guys about like the premise of Alicization, right?
Alicization? Nope. I have not been kept appraised of it, but I've wanted to.
So the TLDR of Alicization is that game world, it's not really a game, it's just a playground for them to foster and grow AI that they wish to militarize. Now countries are interested in. And now War of the that game world is called the Underworld. And so now you can see where this new season's going. It's called War of the Underworld. So basically just fighting over this game world.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What was spoiler alert for Westworld. That's that's actually the premise for Westworld too, was that's cool because now I really want to watch it because in Westworld it's like the whole thing was they had AI that were so realistic it was very hard to identify they weren't real. And they point out that the reason why they have that is it's actually an immortality project. So I love that whole like environment simulations to make AI as real as possible. Like that shit is a real. That's awesome to me.
And it's an actual real concept.
I now want to get into it.
It's an interesting thing.
Yeah, I want to get into it now. That's freaking awesome. Mindy says hi, by the way. People listening to the podcast.
Hi, Mindy. I know she doesn't say hi to us, but
hi, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy. So yeah, then do you think that it's gonna like just be wild, crazy season, or do you think it's? I
feel like it's gonna try to do too much in too little time, in my opinion. Because
is it one?
Even though they have a second core,
it's 2 core. But they're introducing new characters and trying to make me care for them like in 5 minutes. Like they're throwing so many new characters at us. Like it's.
You mean you don't care about the AI daughter after 30 seconds of her being a fucking character?
Oh no!
Fuck you,
not like this.
Yeah, exactly.
But no,
fuck you,
there
exactly.
Are actual characters that apparently are relevant to this story They threw it at us and hoping that we care about them, and that's where it's at in episode 4 or episode 3.
I've never heard someone again rounding back just because of the AI bit, thinking that Yui was a good addition, and that
Yui was never a good addition.
You're saying that they do that. Some people have argued with me about that.
I've had those conversations,
and I've walked away because I'm like, I can't logic you.
Like I literally just straight up.
If you're saying they do that a lot,
literally just straight up say Yui is freaking bad writing because he wrote himself into a corner and didn't know how to get out of it except for God mode.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the person comes back was, that's part of the story.
So is that the same case here?
They're not gods. It's actual.
They actually contribute.
They would actually contribute, but they're
okay.
They shove it at the last 5 minutes of the episode. It's like, who are they? Why do I care about them? I'm hoping they get fleshed out more. So we'll see.
Okay, that's fair.
Maybe I'll pick it up one day. Maybe. I honestly have too much shit to watch, and I also have been doing this thing where I watch like one show that I haven't watched before from like way back. I started doing that with Evangelion, so like just having like one show to kind of break the cycle of like simulcast. I just need like something to just like binge for a bit. Like if I want like 2 hours of just watching anime. So I was thinking about doing that sort of, but like maybe like after it's done.
My binges are like Netflix shows.
Dude, same. But mine's like The Office. And I've watched it like 30 times now.
I meant like new stuff.
I've
like
finished watching that once and it's good.
I want to watch it. I love Paul Rudd. I also need to watch the Hot Ones episode he was on.
Same.
So outside of those two, what else is continuing? Dr. Stone, Food Wars 2.
Yeah.
Are you watching Food Wars?
I mean, Food Wars is Food Wars.
And
it's good either way.
So you're just like, I'm signing up no matter what.
There's not really much to say because it's literally picking up from where season 3 ended, and where season 3 ended, it's like in the middle of something. So now they're just finishing it.
Yeah, I think it's just like this year and this, like I forgot. I think it was like last year or the year before. No, there was some time in which we were like, oh, this season is the season of sequels. And now we're in a year of sequels.
Yeah. But the thing is, I have no problem with it because it's been solid.
Yeah.
Like everything
except for One Punch Man.
I still never finished it.
Sorry.
I watched one episode of it and I was like, what have you done?
I really couldn't help myself. I had to kick it just one more time.
No, man, it deserves it. Like, honestly, that's one of those things that we should just not forget. Like, we can't let that shit die.
Well, if they make season 3 and they go back to what they had before, I'll be happy. Like I'll be okay with you guys doing season 2 the way you did it, because there were some redeemable qualities to it, but not enough for me to like even give it like a 6. I think I gave it like a 5.
And that's insane to me. That something that was so well loved and received, like getting dropped that badly. I think the only thing that could have possibly disappointed me more would be like No Game No Life finally getting season 2. And then just getting dropped.
Just watch the movie.
I gotta watch the movie. It's on Netflix now. I actually, that's what I should watch after this. I'll watch that.
It's not that good.
Oh, is it really?
IMO.
Why would you do this to me, Kenny?
Oh, it's also not
sorry. Yeah. So the thing about the movie is like it's a prequel to the original.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, there's these two characters that are literally the same. So it's like blank version, like 0. And you get the same kind of things, but in a different time where like the god of games or whatever is like, that's when he finally like does the thing. Like he finally says, all right, the new rules are you need to settle everything with games and so on and so forth. And also, I also thought it was bad because I was in a situation where I was watching in theaters and I went to the subbed one and they played the dub.
Ooh.
And no one corrected them. So we sat there and watched it. Some can argue that I could have walked out.
I would not have blamed you to walk out at that point.
I didn't.
I would have loudly complained.
Yeah, I'd have been pissed.
No, you just had a bunch of weebs that would not go and tell somebody. Instead, they just all sat there.
401 weebs are so much more polite than 407 weebs. 407 weebs would have gone and complained.
What about the 911 weebs?
That's not very good.
Let's not make fun of that. I feel like that's a little too easy to start making fun of that demographic of weeb.
Oh my god. Okay, let's move on. But how do you feel about Dr. Stone so far, Mark?
I like it. Except for you guys are caught up, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're reading. We're caught up on reading.
Okay. So you guys
I've been caught up, but
so I was watching it with Jessica, and then when it comes to the part where like the astronauts are starting to pair off, and then Jessica's like, "Wait, does that mean like Senku's dad and this girl get together? Wait, does that mean they're relatives? But what about the shipping?" I'm like, I don't know, but it's generations apart. It shouldn't matter. And then his dad goes and says, "Yeah, we're not really related." What?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What, him and Senku?
Yeah, him and Senku are not really related.
Yeah, I remember that. I just didn't remember when it happens in the anime. Like, I didn't remember if they referenced it earlier. But they kind of look familiar. Like, not familiar, but similar. So it's just like...
Pardon me?
It's weird. Like, it's just a
I just want to yes or no.
Tool.
Do we learn about Senku's biological parents?
Maybe.
That's not a yes or no.
You learn something about them, but they're very... Yeah, they haven't touched on it yet.
I don't remember, and I stopped reading at a time that I got bored.
Because I was about to Google for that, but I didn't want that many spoilers, so I figured I might as well just ask here.
Yeah, ask us, man. We're always willing to give you spoilers that are not spoilers.
All right. Yeah.
Did that make sense?
Yes. Minor spoilers. Okay. That's exactly what we said. We're willing to give you minor spoilers. And that's why I said maybe at first. Because they say like, oh yeah, my dad, something. And especially where they are now in the manga. Like they talk about that more, but they don't say anything definitive. Probably because like a good writer, he doesn't want to write himself into a corner and have to invent God mode, which shows no fucking reason.
So the thing that's cool is like they're just getting into like in the anime, they're just getting into the whole Tsukasa like real battle arc thing. So like this, I'm so happy they went with 2 cores for the show because I would have been a little disappointed if they only did 1. Like it's still good, but like the 2 cores is like almost like I could say that show could end on 2 cores if they wanted to. It's very much open shut case. Yeah, there's some like loose ends at the end, but like you can just never give out another season and it'll be okay. Unlike Bleach. Sorry, I'm gonna shut up.
It's very popular. So I figure it'll probably get a second season.
Well, yeah, it's definitely gonna do it. I am just really happy with all of the Shonen Jump series that are not going through like the Shonen Factory. You know, like look at Black Clover and Boruto. Like they're just chugging out all of these episodes with like not a high enough level of quality for me at least. So knowing that you have like Demon Slayer being done by Ufotable, and you have like EMS, I think, is working on Dr. Stone, Bones on My Hero. So it's just nice to see all those other studios putting the time and effort into like creating the story without like, you know, having to worry about just getting it out. Also, I like the fact that it's spaced out because you're not going to run into fillers. Like, yeah, we got the small fillers in My Hero, but we did not get the Bount arc or some crazy thing.
Yeah.
But the only other continuing shows that we have left is like Psycho-Pass 3, which I haven't watched the first episode yet, but I heard it was good. And
first episode's out?
We Never Learn, which, yeah, it's out.
Oh, okay. Same.
I need to watch as well. Because it's 45 minutes. Yeah, because they're hour long, but, you know, they cut out commercials and shit. Yeah. Has Jessica watched
I
any of
believe so.
Psychopaths?
Yeah, I think we watched season 2 together.
If you haven't watched Psychopaths, guys, watch that shit. Psychopaths season 1's one of my favorite. Like, I think it's in my top 5. Honestly, I
it's my
very much love
favorite
that show.
of the genre. My favorite crime psychological thriller, just because it makes you like really think about like what's going on.
I definitely wish we had more in this vein that were as successful, but there really isn't anything like at the level of Psychopaths I could think of, other than like the older series from way back. Yeah, and We Never Learn. What do you think about that show right now? Because like, what was it, episode 2 that we were watching? That was fucking hilarious. I'm just like, no, episode 1 actually. Episode 1. That's when the whole misconception with the bra size, I think,
oh, that's great.
in grades.
And what's even better is the episode 4 came out recently. This past weekend? Was it yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was an absolutely great episode.
I feel bad I didn't catch up on that then. I thought I was caught up on it.
No, it just came out like yesterday.
Okay, damn.
But We Never Learn. It's are you reading that one, Nick?
Oh wait, I did watch that last night. No, wait, did I watch it or did my fucking brother watch it?
Are you reading, Nick?
Oh, what? Pokemon?
We Never Learn?
No.
Yeah. So that manga is also really good. I was caught up, but life. So it's like, I think I'm like maybe 5 chapters behind. But I definitely really like that manga. And as I mentioned last time in the podcast, I do believe that any concerns or issues that people have with character development for Nariyuki is resolved in this season, I think. So it's going to be interesting.
It's good to hear.
Word. Oh, also, what's her name gets a lot of character development. The teacher.
Oh, Kurisu?
Does she finally smile? Because like every time she shows up, she always has like a stoic face, and I just absolutely hate it.
Oh yeah.
I'd like her more if her face wasn't the same like every single damn time.
No, it's just interesting from when I think of my perception of her when I first seen her in the manga, and to where I am in the manga now. It's like night and day, completely different person. It's interesting. So yeah, outside of that, is there any shows that you guys are like, dude, I can't wait to drop the shit out of it?
I already have.
At this point, Assassin's Pride.
What is it?
Well, Nick said Assassin's Pride.
What'd you drop?
I dropped it.
Is it that bad?
What's up?
Yep.
I
almost
did
did too.
Little Princess. I was like, yep, fuck that. Nope. Go away. I'd rather watch some high school parodies.
Which is another thing Marcus explicitly said he does not like.
Probably actually going to drop.
So, to be fair, the second episode is considerably better. But I still dislike the plot of it. And I'm going to give it a
what is the plot?
I don't know, Kenny. What is the plot?
I don't know. It's a mess.
Exactly. So, the gist of it is this guy is a really powerful mage, swordsman, whatever, who can use mana. I love the world building. The world sounds awesome because it's basically people have to live in these giant glass biodomes that are the only places full of light. Everything else is dark and full of monsters. So like I love the world building. It's pretty cool. And then they have these guys who, this one in particular, very powerful. He's an assassin. So his role is to find out if this girl is the biological daughter of a very powerful noble. If not, his job is to kill her. He finds out, no, that she's clearly not his daughter because the girl can't use magic. So he goes in to kill, and at the last moment realizes, oh, all right, well, you've won me over because you're still trying. You're giving your best, and that's what matters for me. A hardened assassin who was prepared seconds ago to kill you. And then he gets really creepy, like Mark said. Second episode, he gave her some power. Well, he gave her power at the end of the first one.
Real quick.
At the
just to like really drive home how creepy it is. This girl is 7.
Wait, what?
Is she 7? Like, for real? Is she 7?
The all girls school. They were talking about how they're all like 7-year-olds, like training to be battle maidens.
This is weird.
Hmm.
Mm.
What the fuck, dude?
This is where Nick's like, I should have dropped on episode
I
1.
should have dropped it on episode 1.
Yep.
Yep.
Fuck. Well,
Is there any redeemable qualities of this show?
I seen
the action
clips
seems
of the action that look
interesting,
fun, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's not enough for me. So like when I think of like, there's only like one show with like little girls that like I was kind of okay with, like, like 7 years old.
I mean, fuck's sake, Madoka Magica, they're at least like 13.
What's that one called?
Promised Neverland.
I really liked it. No,
Yeah, they're like 11,
that works too.
12.
I guess. Yeah, it makes sense. The show I'm thinking of, it has this guy, and he works as like a detective or something, and like they work with little girls, but they're actually like
Black
machines.
Bullet. Wait,
Black Bullet. There you go.
They're not
machines, but they're like
they have
abilities.
Yeah, their blood is like cursed with the same shit that lets them fight the monsters.
Aren't they also like Forever Young?
That show was good. I wish we got a second.
That
season.
was good, and they made you care about those little girls too. You're like, oh fuck. Because I was about to say something really spoilery about it in case. Oh fuck it! It came out years ago. Yeah, like
wait, no,
what?
They need to watch it.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
When bad shit happens to little girls in that show, you actually feel really bad. That's all I'll say.
Yep.
So, okay, then I'm happy I didn't pick that one up. But I bet you're both watching No Guns Live.
But I haven't watched the latest episode yet.
I have.
Oh my god, Nick! This is legit your show.
Okay, I will add that to my docket to watch.
It's cyberpunk to all hell, and
is it really?
It's Kojima's favorite manga.
Oh god. Well, okay.
And the main character has a gun for a head.
Gun face.
What else?
Gun face makes shooty bang.
The funny thing about it is like. I just forget how much of a like noir detective thing it is that it's like laughable.
There's some really good comedy in
because
there,
like this, yeah, he has like this moment where he's like, the girl's like, "Oh, is it true that like the trigger in the back of your head is your weakness or something like that?" And he's like, "I don't I only let people that are close to me touch my trigger, but I don't let anyone get close to me." He's doing it while smoking a cigarette.
The fuck? Wait, what?
yeah. He smokes cigarettes. He's a detective. It's something.
It's not the smoking of the cigarettes that gets me. It's the how.
Yeah, in his mouth.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he's not literally a gun. He's not a literal gun. His head is a gun.
His face is a gun.
He's like a cyborg.
So why does the cyborg need? All right, whatever. No, I'll shut up and watch it.
That's a really funny moment in episode 2, or like they try to blindfold him.
Yeah.
You'll just have to see that moment.
The confusion. This sounds like a Kojima anime. That's exactly what
actually, after this, like we'll show you the opening. Just to give you a little more incentive to watch it.
No, I'll watch it. Just remind me, like immediately after this, and I'll go watch it.
Go watch it.
Reminder. Go watch it.
No,
it's damn good.
But we are all watching Otaku, and I haven't watched episode 4 yet, but I am very happy with the 3 episodes we got for a 3-episode test, and knowing how it was just a very condensed arc. And
honestly, the end of that was very I don't know. I felt like this episode was a little lackluster until the very end.
What you mean? Wait, what?
Episode 4? I think episode 4.
They hit you with all of that shit at the end of episode 2, and it was like, all right, how the hell is this guy going to get out of that?
Well, that's why episode 3, like the ending, because episode 3 was the reveal, right? Of who she was.
Or reveal. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about Orosuke, right? I'm not going crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good shit. Yeah. Like at the end of that, it's like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like I feel like this is what would be the end of a fucking season, not like the 3-episode test. And then the 4th episode was like not that good. But
from my understanding,
it's very good still.
From my understanding, this whole show is going to be run like that, where it's broken up into separate
from
arcs.
Episode 4, it feels like it's the very start of a very fresh arc.
Yeah. That's how I feel it is too. It does not seem the same.
Do you know why it doesn't seem the same?
That's how I should phrase it.
Because there aren't any fucking benches in Episode 4.
Oh no!
So sad.
Was it always funny?
Oh yeah, it was funny.
All right, I'll definitely watch that tonight. I got to write about it tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Shameless plug. BlackandOtakuGamers.com. Weekly post on Ahiru no Sora and Otosuki. Okay, back. Oh my god, I hit my head on the table.
That's how dedicated he is to you.
Yeah, like I bowed to you guys, but you couldn't see it, and I hit my head on the table. Don't mind me. It's fine. So can you tell us a little bit about Cautious Hero, friend?
Wait, what is this? I forgot what this was.
I heard Cautious Hero was Konosuba.
I'm not giving
Cautious
it a
Hero.
second.
Fuck yeah!
I don't care about that guy at all. Everything else that's around him doesn't redeem it enough for me to put up with that guy. I absolutely hate
Mark,
the
this is a
character
diametric
so much.
opposition, and I
like friggin' Episode 1.
So
he ults a frickin' slime 30 frickin' times. If he did it once, yeah, I can see the humor in that. But no, 30. Like, I get it. An ult is too much.
Well, he's overly cautious.
He is. So
gotta make sure he's dead.
Did you watch? You didn't watch the second episode? I
don't want to deal with the guy. He's just much.
It redeems it. It kind of redeems it. It redeems it.
I've heard from someone that he's exactly the same. It's that everyone else is getting better than they were in Episode 1.
So I'll give you the breakdown on that then. He basically bumps into a demon lord, a demon general. And the goddess is like, oh, fuck, like, why are you here? And the demon lord, the demon general just says, yeah, no, the demon lord found out there's a human here. And we know that the MO is they'll start out in a low-level area and then get powerful. So I'm here to kill you now. And the goddess is like, oh, fuck, we're screwed. And he's a little powerful, but just powerful enough to survive. So he does the same thing where he says, fuck you, I'm gonna level up. And then they go and they fight again. And the demon general ends up doing both the scan thing where she can see his stats and the traditional Dragon Ball Z thing where she has a final transformation. Him being smart enough to have realized, yeah, no, if you can see my stats, why the fuck wouldn't the enemy be able to see my stats? So the first thing I learned was how to hide my stats. He reveals at the end of it that he's actually insanely powerful and defeats the demon lord or demon general. Everyone's all happy. And it vindicates his caution because it's not your typical enemies he's fighting. These are smart enemies. These are not chaotic, evil idiots. They're very intelligent and methodical. The only trade-off is he is even more methodical and crazy. Given the fact that he then sweeps up the remnants of the demon general after winning and then obliterates it over and over again until the town is destroyed.
Yeah, if I watched that episode, I would have just dropped it again right there.
Yeah, that's why I said it redeems itself and then does the thing you hate. So, like, I personally love it because that's how I play RPGs. I am very methodical. I will over level and then I'll go in and I'll whip my dick out and full on destroy whatever I'm facing. There's been one RPG in the course of my life. Yep, one RPG in my life I've not gone full big dick energy on. And that is Final Fantasy 13 and 12, and that's because it had a mechanic that could easily be abused, so like at low levels you could beat the game. But yeah, I personally really like it. I think it's hilarious, but I know Mark does not play RPGs that way, and I know it bothers the shit out of him because of that reaction and the last time I talked to him about it.
You don't need to ult a thing like 30 times. Ult it once, that's enough overkill.
You don't know. If your life is on the line, you shoot to kill. You empty the mag into that thing's chest. You cast Hellfire 34 times. You burn the city down using the super abilities you have.
Yeah, it's just not for me. At least that guy's not for me. I can't watch that. I can't watch him.
I don't. I know you don't. Continue from Nick. Yeah, hard continue.
I'm just super hyped to get into Psychopaths 3 after this because I completely forgot that the first episode came out, and I now have all of the movies, so I'm ready to go through all that too. It's a lot of content for this series, and I hope that they did all this so that they can actually give a real closure to Sybil System. Like, I feel like it's such a beast of a problem to solve for Akane, and I feel like they really needed to really dive into all of this stuff in order to actually close it out.
Anything more than the first season.
Yeah, and I agree. I still think that if they just ended on the first season like it was probably intended, we'd all be happy. But it's like a whole already gone this far now, they had to close it.
The first movie was like amazing, and like it does what it needs to do, and it makes you think enough.
That should have been the end.
Then they go and make more, and now you're like, well, I gotta finish it, so finish it. Regardless of how good or bad it is.
Is there any other series you guys could think of like that, where like any other anime where you're like, man, that first season was really good, and it should have like been left open ended?
One Punch Man.
Got him.
Like shit, dude. I don't know. One, right? Like I was gonna say Sword Art, but
yeah,
technically elves were part of season 1.
So, I mean, elves were part of season 2 also.
Yeah, so that doesn't count.
But it's a better story.
Oh shit. World. Yeah, but. Let me think. I actually kicked my monitor just now, so I hope you guys can hear me.
There he goes.
Oh, yes. Whoa! Holy shit!
We lost for a bit.
Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, no, my monitors. Yeah, my monitors all just like. I kicked one cable and somehow all my monitors just shut off, and my computer just kind of shit itself a little bit.
Is it back? Is it alive?
I mean, I can hear you guys, but the monitors are still down.
Ah, cool.
Let's see. Oh, there you go. I'm back up. I hope.
Yeah, to be honest, I think it's going to sound weird and kind of nutty, but I would argue that maybe Dragon Ball should have been the end.
Ooh. That's I will give you a chance to explain what you mean there.
I think Dragon Ball was really good, and I feel like they handled everything they needed to do. Akira Toriyama kind of went like crazy with Dragon Ball Z. Like, I feel like, yeah, he had to expand on Piccolo.
He literally did the trigger thing where he went to space.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, did you really though? Like, I feel like it was kind of close enough where you didn't have to, but the only way to like kind of explain Goku's strength maybe is to make him Saiyan. I don't know. Like, I could say that this is a funny hot take that I just thought of straight up. So I'm being completely honest with y'all, but I just thought to myself, maybe it didn't need to be as long as it was, especially looking at the fact that we have Super now, and like we pretend GT never happened.
What never happened? I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Looks like nothing to me.
But I don't want to take away from Dragon Ball and like, well, the Dragon Ball series, and looking at like Super, like looking at what they did with Super and how much of an impact that was, how popular like shit like Toonami became again because of shows like that coming back. And fucking the Broly movie was a big hit, and it did a lot of cool things. So I don't want to take away from Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball series, but there are things about it that I think would have been nice if it was a little shorter. That is all.
Okay. Soapbox off. Understood.
Yep. I regret bringing this up, and I kind of want to crawl under my bed.
That's fine.
But that's it.
I know we're coming close on time, and the one thing I wanted to talk about was, didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life?
Do you like that show?
I love it.
I remember seeing the light novel in Barnes, and I was like, here we go.
It sounds like, if you read it, just the very beginning of it, it sounds and seems like a very shitty, generic isekai. But it's really funny because she didn't want any of the power or anything, and it's a weird monkey's paw thing where she literally asked, "Hey, make me average," because I was a genius in Japan and my life was miserable. And the god said, "Sure." And much as most gods in isekais, this one was fucking useless. And said, "Sure, I'll make you the average of all of the creatures in this world, including magical creatures like this powerful ass dragon." So she has half the strength of the most powerful thing in the world. So she, in turn, is insanely powerful. And it's great because a lot of it is just not hubris. I can't remember what the literary term is for when you do something and intent, and like you do something with one intent and the opposite occurs. But pretty much she just wants to lay low, and she ends up becoming the most well-known and successful person in her school. And she develops friendships. But the most important thing to me is the friendships end up being her telling them a bunch of stories from Japan and turning all like her group, her adventuring party, into a bunch of weebs. It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, on my article for the episode 3, they end it with them announcing like they are Crimson Vow, and then they strike Power Ranger poses and even have the colored smoke explode behind them. And all of the people who are watching are just like, what the fuck are we looking at right now? It's good. I think it's lighthearted. It's fun. And in my opinion, that and Orisuki are my top 2 for this season. New stuff.
So I feel like isekais, I have my moments where I'm like, hey, we can have more isekai. It doesn't bother me too much. But I think like maybe 2 seasons ago, I was like real sick of it. And I just feel like we're at the point where now, if we decided to, we can just like sit in a room, draw up on a whiteboard all of these different words and put them next to in another world and see which ones actually come into fruition in the next like 2 years.
Don't even put it on a whiteboard. Just put a bunch of things.
I feel like we can actually predict the next popular thing.
So it'll be like, in another world, with my refrigerator, I was reincarnated as
dude. Wait.
A ham steak.
Mark.
Isekai generator.
Mark, we should make an isekai.
Do it.
Series generator, yeah.
That would be amazing.
And we just make one. Oh my god, dude. I'll be mad if somebody else has done it.
So one of the things I was reading through popped up, and I thought this is an isekai, and then I realized it's a trend for light novels now to have these kinds of insane fucking sentence titles. Like, didn't I say make my abilities average in the next life? This one that popped up was a story about treating a female knight who had never been treated as a woman, as a woman. And it's this really sweet, wholesome, like, love story of a guy who's all for this, like, very masculine, this very tomboy knight. And it's really cool.
Is that like a
cute.
subtitle to like
but
a...
fuck me if that title isn't retarded as all hell.
Because there are 2 characters.
No, I don't think so. But
Alicization that are...
I don't know. It might... No, it's not. No, it's really sweet because it's like this guy's just like, yo, you were my first love. I saw you the other day and I have fallen in love with you. And she's like, that's bullshit. There's no reason why anyone would love like a woman like me. And she's like constantly paranoid that he's like an assassin or something. And it's like, no, I bought you this necklace because I know it's your birthday. And she's just like, she'll like go home afterwards and silently like freak out about it. Very, very much like Komi-san, actually. She makes me think of Komi-san, like when she, like her inner monologue thoughts.
All right, so
it's very entertaining, very sweet.
So real quick, this
when's that getting an anime adaptation?
Anime this season, I kind of want to touch on that we haven't yet. So, After School Dice Club. If you love board games, definitely look at that because it's literally just them explaining board games and then playing them in the anime. The other one was Kimono Michi, Rise Up. If you're a fan of Konosuba, you should definitely watch this because it's from the same creator and the humor is just amazing. Wait, Nick, have you started watching it? It's on Funimation.
No. Where is it on? Funimation?
Kenny, have you started watching it? Oh my god.
Yeah, okay.
It's also who I based
that's a very indie show.
Yeah, definitely pick that one up. It's good comedy. And the last one I actually wanted to talk about was freaking Jet Girls. Freaking Jet Girls. It's Keijo on jet skis. It's probably worse than Keijo.
Oh,
actually.
Jet Girls.
And it's uncensored.
Well, since it's on jet skis, yeah, I imagine.
So, I remember, like, everyone's talking about it, and I was like, all right, let's see. I'm on High Dive, and I watched the first episode, and I was like, what can really be bad about this show?
I want to watch it I can't wait to watch it with Mark. I'm so excited. I kind of want to do it tomorrow, honestly.
Kenny, it's a safety feature.
Like,
they tell you in episode 2, it's a safety feature.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna watch it, Mark, tomorrow. Tomorrow we watch it. That you sold me. I want to know what you're talking about.
Sounds good.
We're watching it tomorrow.
All right. So this season is looking pretty good. We obviously have some issues with some of these shows, but it's looking like pretty successful season for us. Like, we didn't drop like half our shows.
As we normally
drop 2.
Yeah, we normally like drop almost all of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
I might drop 1.
Dude, I think looks like next year is gonna start strong too. Pretty excited. Also, we need to talk to Nick about some of these anime movies he hasn't watched.
Yep.
Like, he still hasn't watched Your Name,
sorry, I was looking at
or Sound Voice
at Winter 2020. Sorry.
No, it's perfect timing. I'm very happy.
I thought that was to that too.
Yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully we can get you to watch some of those movies sometime. Maybe do another BAYOG night. That'd be cool. But yeah, just happy that we're back to doing this pretty frequently now. And hopefully we'll have another post for you next week. I'm not sure if that's going to be the BAYOG Sakai one.
It will be, as long as my files don't get all fucked up and locked up because of Adobe. Well, I'm not doing Adobe.
Toast files not to do that.
Yeah. Marcus told me to do something better.
Yeah, I didn't say it was better.
So I'm going to go with that.
Oh.
I just said it's there.
Cool.
Well, something that's not locked down right now. Something that didn't get locked down and take away all my work files.
Yeah, so hopefully the next anime post we'll probably have is about our mid-season 4 we're watching right now. We'll kind of see. We're still planning out what the next few episodes are going to be for us. But yeah, it's hopefully going to be back to some regular schedule, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly. But yeah, just want to say thank you for supporting us, as you have been for quite some time. And make sure you are following us on all the things. BlackNeoTakuGamers.com is where we post our blog post. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, I am Blacktron_. Mark is Commander Cook, CMDR. CMDR in the front. So Commander Cook. And Rakutsu, right?
Yep, that's me.
And Mr. Sock for Waha. And Mindy, I think it's Pieces of Mindy or Minty.
I think it's Minty P.
Well, you can go to this YouTube,
it is Pieces of Minty.
This blog post and look, and you'll find all of our stuff. Or check us. There you go. Or check us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and well, that's just there. So you can listen to us on your commute. So that's all I got. Y'all have anything?
Nope.
All right, get the fuck out of here.
Later.
Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Later.